Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Okay. I was just trying to get it steeper.
Yeah.
Move vertical. So you'll see there how automatically you go to reach. So just as much as you can, try and keep your hand neutral.
Like where it is.
Yeah, and then the grip will just come. Whereas if you reach up like that, what you're doing is you're causing a shape like that when you're docking, rather than a shape like that. Kind of thing, because the wind will hit off here and then spill off, so it'll cause less pressure. Whereas you can see on the app the other day how it goes like this. And that'll make the instability. No worries, good approach. Same thing, just that grip, getting used to it. So with the carbon, you'll find what's going to make it easier. The hard thing in the Sky is you'll carve automatically like that, and the arms will go back. Whereas what the tunnel teaches you is to have the arms like this. So there, I know I just drew where your arms were, but like they'll be forward.
Yeah.
And that way the speed is controlled by them. Otherwise, what happens, the body goes like this and the arms go back. So you've turned your whole body into a wing. So it's not to say that this is bad. It just means that this is going to make max 10 power. Yeah, it's like just driving in fucking
like fifth gear.
Yeah, fifth gear, revving at fucking $5,000. You know, rather than fucking driving at fifth gear, revving at, or fourth gear, revving at fucking $3,000 where you still got range. And that way it'll make the switches easier for you. Turn this off real quick. It'll make the switches easier rather than kind of blowing out there. So what will happen is when you switch there and then aim for where the camera is.
Yeah, okay. I'm going too much
And that'll
that way.
stop that way, yeah. Turn this back on. Fucking hell. Yeah.
Just reaching.
That one was a lot better because you said your right hand's better than your left. You'll see how as you done it was less reach because the line, instead of being like that, the line, sorry,
it's kind of more straight out.
More straight, like, horizontal. It's fine to catch and switch the other hand over like
what I'm doing there.
Like that. It is what it is. There's no worries. Yeah, just stabilising. I'll just transition to check how your transitions go. Yeah, fucking good, man. That's alright.
Nah,
that's nice. That's alright.
All
it is
came out of it a bit early.
Yeah, exactly. So you've just kind of gone there,
a bit. Yeah,
and just waiting.
Need to go a little bit further around.
Yeah. A lot of it's just for head downs. Just going to be learning the slower moves. So if you get off here as much as you can, just think shoulders. So watch how you get off, and then shoulders shrug.
Yeah.
And then they kind of go neutral now. So you want to try and watch the neck and the head. See how the head and neck goes, and then it straightens up. So as soon as you get off, boom, shoulders down. Yeah, it'll just be getting control with
just being further down.
Let's just say if you're like that. Actually, I'm going to draw it. Heaps of ways to control flutter. You're up.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So there's heaps of ways to control flatter and steeper. One at the moment is what you're doing with the arms. You're pulling them back. So what happens, you've changed the surface area from here to here, so then the body flattens out. Or you can do the chest, leave the arms there, and essentially, you know when you cork out and you feel this part here going up?
Yeah.
So you want to try and get control with
that.
With this and feeling the wind on the back. And that way it'll, instead of going this direction, it's going to go more this direction, like here. So you can control those, then the legs can just kind of stay. Whereas if you go with the arms, then that's a bigger movement, and because you're using the extremities rather than just kind of tilting the body forward. Yeah, and using the torso.
So steering with your head and your torso. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard because you've got the rig on the back, so it's tricky to feel. Whereas you'll find, see there how you put the pressure on, rather than letting the head go like this. And if you do that without collapsing, so you're kind of just doing that and letting that go forward, it'll flatten you out real quick.
Flatten you out in what sense? Like to carve?
That. To go on your back.
Oh, okay.
Same with carving, same with everything. And then your arms can keep yourself with the brakes on, so you can keep your arms there. And then you go flatter, but you still got that grip.
See how my upper arms are out to my side? And so I'm still doing that same thing, like a bit arched in my whole torso. You can see. Yeah. Like I'm flying a bit like this.
Oh, sorry.
You're like this.
Yeah. Kind of. So do that again. Notice the profile of your shoulders.
Like this.
Yeah, and then do your arms forward. See how the shoulders roll. So go back to the other one. Now keep them back and shake my hand. There.
And the head.
No, head neutral, normal.
So try and keep them open, but that's trippy.
It is, yeah. So it's, instead of this, it's there, and then you can see how this rib and all that relaxes, but this stays neutral. Whereas if you go forwards and then that rolls, it's going to get real twitchy, so it won't feel comfortable. So do that position that you're doing with your arms up. Try to keep that neutral. Release them, then leave them, and then you steer with
your
the torso and upper body, and that way that when they stay, they can just stay neutral. And you might be able to feel them a little bit, but if I'm drawing, say, an angle here, you don't want your arms out front. You want your arms vertical along that burble, so the wind hits them this side, and then it hits them
and kind of out there, stabilizing them there.
Yeah,
in those directions.
Yeah. Okay. Then they're neutral, and you can put brakes, gas. Whereas if you're just on gas, then you need to take your foot off the gas and then apply brakes.
Oh, that's just on brakes.
This is just neutral kind of thing.
This one is
that's on full brakes. Yeah.
So,
and that's on full gas.
And the other thing is, like, to take the grips, I'm reaching up like this.
Yep.
You just want to take them down.
Just take them down low. That way the wind spills off them. If you reach up, that just means you need to go. You just need to fly more and then grip. So you essentially, if you're reaching up, you're about there.
I'm off level.
Yeah. So if you're here, then that grip will happen.
Just have the grips around down near like the hips, rather than like up near the chest.
Yep. Stand up for us.
Yeah. So like should be like.
Yeah. So the tricky thing is because we're walking around the ground neutral like this, you got to get used to flying higher than the torque.
Tiny bit. Right.
Yeah. Which is tricky because when you're walking around the ground, naturally you like that
so like
slightly.
I would just be like just below,
always
and that
just
way
below.
I'm reaching up.
Yeah. Whereas if you have to
and
kind
so
of be
you want to just
down.
take grips like down here.
Yeah. That way the wind hits and spills off. Whereas if it's up here,
it's all catching brakes.
Yeah. Which breaks you even more.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So it's not that you don't know how to do it or you haven't done it. You already know the feeling. It's just putting that sensation and the knowledge to what the feeling should be. So you essentially just try to start getting used to flying at all times with that pressure on the hands like you have now.
What do you mean?
As in like on the upper body.
Keep the arms in, don't let them just flop by my side.
Yeah, so that way you've always got pressure on the
forearm,
top part of the arm.
I mean, sorry,
rather than the under part of the arm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But try to bring them a little bit more forward without collapsing the chest.
Essentially where that arm was there, the
like
right one.
Yeah, that's where it wants to be.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. And then that other one can either be here when you're gripping or it can be just that same angle, but just slightly forward. Yeah.
And is my torso arched too much? Is that
no? That'll disappear when the arms are fixed.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and the torso might not be arched, but it's like when you're doing a handstand, and you know how when you do a handstand, if you arch through the handstand, you can feel the pinching in your back. Whereas as soon as you pull that chest in, and you don't fix that from here, you fix it from the ribs. Yeah. And by pulling that in, that's the same way you fix the head down. Yeah. So don't try to like de-arch, just try to get that.
Engage the core.
Suck that in, and then it will become neutral then.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and you're right with this one, it's just letting it go. Just waiting, but I know we're getting towards the end. So even if you... Yeah, cool. So see here, there's many ways you can do a transition. You can do a transition From here, you can transition down to head down. You can transition around this center part, or you can transition with the legs up. Yeah. So what you're doing at the moment is you're going.
I sunk down.
Yep, sink down.
Well, I tried to do it kind of static.
No, that's good. So get used to now, as you do this motion, see how the legs are tucked up under. Try and get to here, and then let
it start
this
rotating.
part. Yeah, just this part here.
Start
out.
Catching the wind. Yeah.
And that'll flick you around. And that way, when you get around to the head down, you'll find you won't have to punch out because
it'll flip me up. Makes sense. But try not to catch too much wind. Then I'd need to just let my chest.
Yeah, if you catch a bit of wind, that's fine. Just know that this drill's just to get that sensation, that feeling.
Feet
once you get that sensation, you'll be able to go like do that and then do that and do both. So you can do a combination of all of them.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
cool. Right. Thanks, man. It was a fun one.
That was good. Yeah, it's just getting used to moving.
My legs just keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, leave the legs.
Just focus on the arms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your legs seem to be going good automatically. That they will be a bit floppy, but that's fine. Like you'll see mine are floppy all the time, but I'm actually steering and stuff. The main thing that people have is they control the arms too much, so it's just like being noisy. So just chill them, and you'll find the legs will automatically sort everything out. It's just going to get that upper body sorted.
Because I feel that stabilization with my legs happens a bit more naturally now.
Yeah.
But it's just the arms got to sort out that style. Nice.
Sweet.
Sweet, bro.